Hypocrisy. The great Tao is ignored, yet we speak of goodness and righteousness. Relatives are unfriendly, yet we talk of familial love and respect. The state and the family are in confusion and chaos, yet we praise ourselves for loyalty and faithfulness. This is great hypocrisy. Chapter 18 of the Tao Te Ching is very short. And this is one of those passages that seems intended to put the reader on their back foot. As soon as we start feeling good about knowing eternity and invisible leaders, the mysterious Tao, these ancient masters, a chapter like this comes along and says, pay attention. Are we actually delivering on what we want to see achieved in our world? We're talking about goodness and righteousness, love and respect, loyalty and faithfulness, but are we actually bringing them into the world? And these problems that are pointed out in this chapter are the same problems that we're seeing today, despite being written thousands of years apart. Now, that could be viewed in some ways as saying, well, we should throw up our hands and simply admit that this is perhaps just the status of being human, that we are imperfect, we're never going to achieve the greatness that we aspire to, and, well, we might as well have a good time along the way, right? Not so fast, at least according to this chapter, which lays out in the first sentence, this is what's happening when the Tao is ignored. Curiously, I'm going to point to the opening passage in Zhuangzi, which is the second of the three major texts of Taoism, which reads, "You catch fish with a trap. You get the fish and forget the trap. You catch hares with a snare. You get the hare and forget the snare. You catch ideas from words. You get the idea and forget the words. Where do I meet someone who has forgotten the words so we can have a talk?" Does the law have grace, or is it hypocritical? What loyalty is owed a hypocritical state? By state here, I do mean an organization of governance. I think it's natural to recognize that the state is flawed. Not just because there is certainly enough praise about loyalty and faithfulness that is occurring in a state of confusion and chaos, but because the nature of lived experience, the nature of truly living one's life is not something that can be put in words. Yet that is the nature of the law, a codification of proper behaviors and agreements for how to interact. And while there is a space for it, it shouldn't be confused with the thing itself. That sentiment was expressed by Aldous Huxley in his book Doors to Perception, which I'd highly recommend. And it brings to mind another quote, Aldous Huxley speaking about liberty, freedom. And he says, "To those who think that liberty is a good thing, and that it may someday be possible for people to live in a society fit for free, fully human individuals, a thorough education in the nature of language, its uses and abuses, seems indispensable." And that is in many ways what Zhuangzi is speaking to here. Where can I meet someone who has forgotten the words so we can have a talk? In this chapter, Hypocrisy, the great Tao, is ignored, yet we speak of goodness and righteousness. Relatives are unfriendly, yet we talk of familial love and respect. The state and the family are in confusion and chaos, yet we praise ourselves for loyalty and faithfulness. Loyalty and faithfulness, love and respect, goodness and righteousness can no more be put into law or language than can the idea of liberty. In governance, hypocrisy can be avoided by acknowledging that the law itself is a flawed expression of something that has incredible value. Human life, human experience, human expression, the things that we care about and are most meaningful to us truly cannot be put into words. A final quote from Zhuangzi, "Knowledge that stops when it does not know has reached what it could."